Let's go down to the Kennedy Space Center and take a look at Challenger sitting on the pad.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Engines at 65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good APUs. Velocity 2,257 feet per second. Altitude 4.3 nautical miles. Downrange distance 3 nautical miles.
So the 25th Space Shuttle mission is now on the way after more delays than NASA cares to count. This morning it looked as though they were not going to be able to get off.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
Looks like a couple of the solid rocket boosters blew away from the side of the shuttle in an explosion.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction.
We're awaiting word. They're holding their breath just, I'm sure, as everyone else is. In the center of the fire and the smoke, you can't see any form of what was once the shuttle. You saw it just a few moments ago, about 45 seconds after liftoff, a huge fireball in the sky.
We have a report from the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded. Flight director confirms that. We are looking at checking with the recovery forces to see what can be done at this point. Contingency procedures are in effect.
Because we're sending crews from
I mean out of Miami.
Right, 2 crews out of Miami, and how many crews we got going? 2. Okay, so we got 4 crews.
2 coordinators.
We got 3.
How many at the Space Center? That's the big thing.
Houston.
Yeah, how many in Houston?
In Houston,
The whole Chicago thing is very
well, we got Flock in a crew.
No, he continues to work the
Clark,
story. Just tell him he's getting tons of people coming in there. His worry now is the air. He worries about the air. We'll worry about everything else.
He's leaving.
Stand by to voice over this picture. Shut up in here! Open their mics.
Open all their mics.
Talk, folks.
Rella's there at the scene. He's staying with the solid Can you get to the airport in time to just meet that plane and say, get back on the plane with tickets?
Whoever is necessary right now, please move back into the pit.
Graphics, I need pictures of the crew, please. They only got 3.
We are still not clear as yet, Tom, exactly what is parachuting down.
We're not clear, but we know that a C-130 was in the area and that medical personnel were dispatched by parachute down into the water to search for survivors.
A BZ truck, okay, hired by WBZ, in right there. All right, there's no name on the truck. We don't know whose it is.
Her parents watched it from the VIP site, 3.5 miles from the launch pad, hugged each other and sobbed, watching the fireball over. Let's get that didn't happen. All right. Okay, let me redo this.
When we first saw the explosion, we didn't know exactly what had happened. And then we realized, I think we were trying to talk ourselves out of it really being the disaster that it was.
There may be no State of the Union tonight. They got to start planning a shuttle show for 9 o'clock.
Okay, we're going to Reed. Reed and Scott, go ahead. Let me talk a little bit.
That is Senator John Glenn.
Braylon and Hess can handle till midnight. Burnkopf can pick up.
They don't get in until midnight anyway.
But let's let Hess be the overall planner of, you know how much trouble we have getting people to sleep, of working out who works when and handling the stations. You going to worry about that?
Okay, we only got 6 rooms in Houston. That's most we can get.
You plug continuing live coverage the NASA news conference at 3:30 live, then get me into, there's been a reaction from across the country, briefly, some thoughts from people in New York, and you hit 2 sound bites and come out of the sound bites and get me into this. All right, I'll walk you through it on the IFB.
At first, no one was quite sure what we had seen. Everyone was sort of standing.
My job began just at the time that this tragic accident occurred, and I was not permitted to have emotional feelings about it. I will have those later. I had to represent this network in doing the things that it is expected to do.
A long way from history, but responsible for making sure that we covered it, and sad, little prayer.
Usually the night before, I had the same nightmare that what I saw today, and I thought it was a dream. I was speechless for a few minutes. And I knew that that explosion shouldn't have happened when it did, and I was holding my breath, and I crossed my fingers as I always do right before the launch. And when I saw the fireball in the sky, I knew no one could have survived that. It's gotta be the toughest thing I've ever done in my life.